Hey there, restaurant pros. It's David Scott Peters, and welcome to the Restaurant Prosperity Formula podcast. For over 2 decades, I've been guiding restaurant owners to success with the proven principles of something I call the Restaurant Prosperity Formula. I originally created the formula based on the daily practices of the most successful restaurateurs I coach, and it's now the foundation of what I teach restaurant owners like you so you can achieve success. What do I mean by success? Success is a restaurant owner who dictates the terms of their life and their bank account instead of their restaurants dictating those things for them. Success is a restaurant owner who has the freedom from their restaurant and the financial freedom they never thought possible. How you define success is up to you, but I do know the way to achieving it is using the Restaurant Prosperity Formula. This season, I'm diving even deeper into the core elements of the formula: leadership, systems, training, accountability, and taking action. Along with my insights, you'll hear from special guests, industry experts, and inspiring success stories from fellow restaurant owners who've turned their businesses around and found their definition of success. In this episode number 117, we're tackling a topic that hits hard for so many restaurant pros: managing your managers and getting them on board with change. Let's get started. But first, a word from our sponsor. We all know managing costs is one of the most important parts of running a profitable restaurant, especially now. But between fluctuating vendor prices, waste, labor, and the never-ending list of tasks that demand your attention on a daily basis, it can be challenging for even the most experienced of us to manage costs well. That's where Margin Edge comes in. Margin Edge is a complete restaurant management software that automatically uses data from your POS and invoices to show you food and labor costs in real time. Don't wait until it's too late. Margin Edge gives you tools to make decisions in the moment, like a daily P&L, price alerts on key ingredients, and real-time plate costs, all without ever having to touch a spreadsheet. Take control of your costs, work more efficiently, and be more profitable. Go to www.marginedge.com/DSP to learn more and schedule your demo today. Today, our focus will be from resistance to results, turning managers into change leaders. Let's start off with why change often fails, especially when it comes to your management team. Here's the thing: managers resist change for a variety of reasons. They're comfortable with the way things are. They're afraid of failure, or they don't fully understand how the change will benefit them or the business. Sound familiar? As the leader, it's your job to bridge the gap. If you don't provide clarity, support, and accountability, resistance is inevitable. Today, we're going to break down exactly how to do that and get your managers not just on board, but leading the charge. One key point to remember is that change doesn't happen overnight. For example, I once worked with a restaurant where the owner implemented my Restaurant Payroll Guardian scheduling system. At first, the managers pushed back, feeling it wasn't necessary. But by consistently demonstrating how it saved time and improved coverage, the owner gradually won them over. Within weeks, the managers not only adapted, but began advocating for the system itself. Patience and consistent effort made all the difference. It's a process that takes time and consistent effort. Your managers need to feel supported at every step. When you build trust, they'll be more likely to open up to the idea of change. The first step in managing change is understanding the barriers your managers are facing. Often they don't see the value in the change, or they're worried it's going to make their jobs harder. That's why you've got to communicate the why behind the change. And not just the why for you, the why for them. For example, let's say you're implementing a new inventory system. Managers might see it as more paperwork, right? More work itself. But if you explain how it's going to save them time in the long run, help the restaurant make more money, and make their bonuses bigger, they'll start to see the value. Remember, clarity creates buy-in. To maintain that clarity throughout the change process, consider implementing regular updates and using visual aids such as charts or diagrams. This is to help track progress. These tools help reinforce the key points and keep everyone aligned. Clear, consistent communication can make all the difference when driving change. If your managers understand the why and how it benefits them, resistance starts to fade. Another strategy is involve your managers early in the process. When they feel like, they've had a say in shaping the change, they're much more likely to support it. Ask for their feedback, address their concerns, and let them help develop the actual implementation plan. Next, let's talk about how you lead your managers through change. It's not just about giving orders, it's about inspiring action. And that starts with leading them by example. When you're consistent in your own behavior, it sets the tone for your team. If asking your managers to embrace new systems or processes, you need to be the first one to use them and show them how it's done. Celebrating small wins is another powerful leadership tool. For example, I worked with a manager who initially struggled with implementing my restaurant checkbook guarding ordering system. After a lot of back and forth, they managed to roll it out in the kitchen with significant success. That one small victory gave them the confidence to expand the systems to the bar. Highlight and reward their success at each stage. This made them feel valued and motivated to continue pushing forward. When a manager successfully implements part of a new system or process, recognize it. That positive reinforcement builds momentum and shows them that progress is possible. Here's an actionable takeaway. Set up regular one-on-one check-ins with your managers during the change process, otherwise known as milestones. Use this process to provide feedback, answer questions, and keep them accountable. Additionally, make sure you're providing training and resources. Managers can't implement what they don't fully understand. Whether it's hands-on training sessions or online resources, give them the tools they need to succeed. On a side note, this is where our coaching programs and online resources come in real handy for any restaurant owner. Now, let's get into the part that's uncomfortable for many of us, holding managers accountable when they resist or drop the ball. Here's the truth. Avoiding tough conversation only makes things worse. But when you approach them the right way, they can lead to big results. Start by being clear about your expectations. What does success look like? What's the timeline? Next, listen to their concerns. Sometimes resistance comes from fear or misunderstanding, and addressing that can turn things around. Finally, use what I call the Oreo cookie. Start with something positive. Address the issue clearly and directly, and then end the note with a note of encouragement. This framework keeps the conversation constructive and productive. Another tip, follow up after these conversations. Accountability doesn't end after the talk. Check in regularly to see how they're doing, offer additional support, and acknowledge any improvements they've made. The ultimate goal isn't just to get your managers on board, it's to empower them to become leaders of change. When your managers take ownership of new systems and processes, it transforms your entire team. One of the best ways to do this is by delegating authority along with responsibility. Give your managers the power to make decisions within the framework of the system. This not only builds trust, but also boosts their confidence. Creating career paths is another critical step. For example, a manager might start as a shift supervisor, then progress to an assistant manager role, and eventually move into a general manager position. Each step in the path should include clearly defined skills and responsibilities they need to master, as well as the support and training you'll provide to help them succeed. Showing them a clear path forward not only keeps them motivated, but also ensures you're building a strong leadership pipeline. When managers see that mastering change leads to growth opportunities, they're more likely to embrace it. Plus, it shows them you're invested in their success, which makes them more invested in yours. You can also establish mentorship programs within your team. Pair experienced managers with newer ones to share knowledge and build a culture of continuous improvement. This not only supports the change, but strengthens your leadership pipeline. So let's wrap this up. Managing your managers and getting them on board with change isn't always easy, but it's absolutely necessary for your success and theirs. Remember to break down barriers, lead by example, hold tough conversations, and empower your managers to lead. I want to challenge you to take action today. Choose one step we talked about and implement it this week. Maybe it's having one-on-ones with your resistant manager or celebrating a small win within your team. Whatever it is, start now. And if you want to learn how one of our group coaching programs can help you along with this process, please go to dsp.coach/Ryan and book your free 20-minute discovery call today. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Restaurant Prosperity Formula Podcast. I'm David Scott Peters, and I'll see you next time. Until then, stay focused and keep working towards your definition of success. Ready to take the next step towards achieving restaurant prosperity, freedom from the daily grind, and the financial success you deserve? Book a discovery call with Ryan James to learn about our group coaching program. Ryan will guide you through how our program can transform your restaurant and help you achieve the prosperity and freedom you've been striving for. Click the link in the description below or visit dsp.coach/talk-to-Ryan to schedule your call now.